morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you are watching. Welcome to Gospel in the Real. My name is Tasheekia Perry, and I am the founder of Crowning Daughters for Success.
And my name is Patricia Bryan, Pastor Patricia Bryan of Nazareth Church of God. Welcome to our segment today. We're here on the beach again, and we want to talk about
honoring
your parents.
Honoring your parents.
Honoring your
I
parents.
think this is a good time because you know what? Mother's Day just passed, and Father's Day is coming up.
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I think that's great, and we need to talk about that because it really deals with life. It deals with your life. What comes out of your life, according to scriptures, is based on honoring your mother and father. Ephesians 6 says that you should honor your father and your mother so that your days may be long in the land. And so we want to have our children knowing this, understanding this. It says also that we should train them up in the way they should go.
Absolutely.
So when they're old, they will not depart. We know that some of us depart, but we have that foundation.
Yes.
And because we have that foundation, it doesn't matter how far we go, at some point or another, we return.
Absolutely.
And we know how to live in the land. So,
you know what? I think this is an awesome topic. And I think because for last topic, we were talking about father figures and what dads needed to be and how moms, you know, what they needed to do, but we can't take the responsibility from the children. You can be a young child, you can be an elderly child. At some point in life, we know that you were birthed by someone, so that makes you a child, whether you're 5 or 50. The Bible tells us that we need to honor our parents. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, honor is respect. It's respect. You know, it's not that when we say honor, we don't mean that you see them and you fall at their feet. That might be good at some point. But the respect that you have to develop for your parents. You know, some of us say, well, my parent didn't treat me good, so I don't have to treat them good. Yes, you do, because it is scriptural that if you do this, your life will be blessed.
Yes.
You will live a better life. And when we say this, we're not saying that in your life you won't experience challenges. Yes, you will, because life is a challenge.
Yes, it is.
It doesn't matter where you are, who you are, or what you do. Life is a challenge.
Yes.
But when you do it unto your parents, like God said you should, God is able to keep His promises to you.
Absolutely.
It is definitely
You are absolutely
a plus.
It is definitely a plus. You know, my issue is that you have people that will take only from certain relationships. They'll take from a man, or they'll take from a woman, but as soon as a parent is not all that parent needs to be, they can easily live their life without that parent, but they can't live their life without their mate. And yes, I know that the Bible tells us, unto death do us part, let no man put us under what God has joined together. Well, God joined you with your parents as well, and He gave us certain stipulations and rules to have that long life that we want to have. And I just, you know, even with Mother's Day just passing, some of the people that I spoke to that just said they would not call their mom on Mother's Day. They will not send their mom a card on Mother's Day. Their mom abandoned them. Their mom did this to them. Their mom was to this, to that, whatever. But yet and still, they're still working on a relationship that has been very dysfunctional, very painful, where they suffered for a long, consistent period of time. I don't get it. Like, how, you know, what's the difference?
I call it the feeling of entitlement.
Okay.
It's entitlement.
Okay.
You know, you're my parent and you can't fail me. You can't do anything wrong.
Okay.
Most of us as parents, we were not taught how. We don't have a handbook on how to be the best parent there is in the world. So we grow and we learn, and as we get older, we might have the first child, and the first child either is treated very well or not treated as good as the next child.
Gotcha.
Because you're learning. It doesn't take away from that child, no matter if you are 6 or 66, 106,
Yeah.
it is still your parent. They're the ones that brought you in the world. And so if you can give a relationship outside of your parents a chance, even
After chance.
it's
After
broken,
chance.
yeah, then you can also give your parent a chance. You can forgive them. You see, we talked about forgiveness.
Yes.
It is necessary in every relationship if you are going to go forward with your life and have a good life. And have a good life. If God said that we should honor our parents, He means that we should honor them, because it doesn't. We can't be blessed when we don't honor our parents. It's almost like put it out to being God. Your parent is next to God in your life,
Yes.
because God gave them you
To rear and to raise.
to raise and to make them what He wants you to be. Some of them fail, and yes, fail miserably.
Yes.
But like I said, there's no handbook on parenting, so they're learning. And some of them were young, because most of us know that as women of our color, a lot of us have children when we're young.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Not that we were not taught not to or how to go, but we were disobedient.
Yes.
See? That was
Period.
disobedience. And disobedience brings more trouble into your life.
Absolutely.
You need to be obedient. And that's why the scripture said we should obey our parents. Just listening might have helped some of us.
Yes.
And we wouldn't have been in the place that we're in. Our lives would have been blessed in a different way.
Absolutely.
So we have to nurture that thought and think about the parent. They have hearts too.
Yeah.
They have hearts too.
And there are some parents that want to get it right.
Yes.
There are some parents, people, that's really sorry for the way they treated you.
Yes.
There are some parents that's really sorry that they abandoned you. There are some parents that really want to make things right. But you're not giving them that opportunity to make things right, because you considered in your own thinking, they didn't get it right when I was 5. They didn't get it right when I was 15. They ruined my graduation. They ruined my wedding. They didn't embrace my children. You have all of these excuses as to why you are not honoring or recognizing the role of your parent. But it's not right. It's not right.
It can't be right. It doesn't matter what has happened. It is still not right for you to treat your parent out of sorts.
There you
You
go.
have to respect them. You know, like you said, many parents in their young days made mistakes because they were young and they did not know. In fact, they were babes themselves.
Absolutely.
You know, you should have been looking for somebody to nurture you. Oh, I had my first child when I was 17. Who taught me how to be a mother? My mother was trying to train me up, and they did. But like I said, I kind of drifted, as teenagers do sometimes, and found myself in that place. And the rest of my life, the things that I've experienced came from that. But I can tell you one thing, as long as I've known myself, I've never cursed at my mother. I've never cursed at my father, because they taught me to honor.
To honor.
To honor them. Was my mother perfect? To me, she was perfect. because I saw her struggling to help me to have a better life. So for me, she was perfect. Was she perfect? No.
Absolutely.
She definitely was not. But for me, she was, because she helped me. But I already knew not to do that. So I believe the things that I'm experiencing now, the blessing of having even my children honor me, came from me honoring them.
Absolutely.
Because they saw it. They saw me love on my mother. They saw me tell her I love her. They saw me hug her and kiss her. And you know, making mistakes. I know I'm talking a lot again.
But we
I'm
need
taking it over.
We need it, so you just talk on.
I see, as parents, when you're young and you've made this mistake, when you get a little older and you start to understand what life is, now you want to make amends, but
Yes.
some children won't allow
They won't let you.
to make the amend. They hold you hostage to the past.
Yes.
But we don't want to hold anyone hostage to their past. Jesus doesn't hold us hostage to our past.
No, he does not. And you know, my mom was a teenage mom too, with 2 children. And was my life even almost perfect? No, because it was literally a child trying to raise children.
Yes.
so she was not mature in certain areas. She worked hard. She did the best that she could do. Did she have to grow in some areas of obedience? Yes. Did I see some things I wish I did not see? Yes. Did she do some things I wish she had not done? Yes. But at the end of the day, I am here. Because she decided to birth me at 17, not knowing what resources she would have, not knowing what advantages she would have as a single parent. She didn't know what was in store for her life, but she decided not to get on an abortion table.
Yes.
And she decided to birth me and do the best that she could do. Did that mean I suffered in some ways growing up because of her ignorance in certain areas? Yes. But you know what? Not one day of my life would I ever make her feel low or undermine her parenting role in my life, because I'm here. If nothing else, I am here doing what God purposed me to do from her womb. She did not know God at that age, but she knew life existed within her, and she took the chance on me.
And that's
enough.
the important thing.
She took a chance
She took
on
a
me.
chance. She said, I am going to, just that. She said in her mind, I am going to give this unborn baby life. I am going to give my life. That was a sacrifice.
Absolutely.
Some of us are not willing to make that sacrifice.
No.
We say, well, this child, if I have a baby now, it's going to ruin my career. It's going to ruin my chances of having a good man in my life. And we start counting the ruins and not the life of the child.
Absolutely.
So just the fact that your parent or your mother took the time to birth you, then that owes her honor.
That owes her honor.
You owe her no matter what. You're here, and God can do great things in that relationship if you would give it a chance to become a mother-daughter relationship.
Absolutely. Let it process.
You can.
Let it process. You may not be best friends overnight, but take a step.
Yes.
And that parent may not be ready. You may not be ready. Everyone has some type of baggage, but purpose in your life, because we're not talking to the parent today, we're talking to the child.
Yeah.
Purpose in your heart, some kind of way that you're going to take a step towards healing.
Yeah.
You're going to take a step towards forgiving, and you're going to take a step towards God restoring, because I promise you, if we purpose in our heart and ask God to restore, that is who He is.
He'll restore. He's a restorer of the broken places.
Yeah.
He's going to heal the wounds, but you have to give Him the chance to do it.
Absolutely.
And anything you make up in your mind to do, God is going to take care of it.
Absolutely.
So we don't have to worry, the pain of the mother she might have been a drug addict. Yeah. She got caught up with the wrong man, because nobody starts off being a drug addict.
No.
So she got caught up in the wrong man. She herself might have had parents that weren't there in the way they needed to be. So you have to look at what it is that caused this parent to be in that place.
Absolutely.
And if there's anything that you can do to help them, then you do it.
Absolutely.
Because you're going to reap the benefit in the long run. I must say, my daughters at 17, I can say I'm happy that I had my children at a young age. I'm older now, and my kids look like my sisters. I look a little older now. But we hang together. We can talk about life.
Yes.
I'm never in regret about doing that.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to be. You can have a wonderful relationship, but you have to make it. And your mom, look at the woman you've become. She would have cut off God's purpose in your life.
Absolutely.
And God would have said, we don't want that.
Absolutely.
We want to have the best.
Absolutely.
And look at who she's reared. We're exemplars. She's a beautiful woman.
Thank you.
I must say, Mama, if you're listening to this, you did a great job.
She did do a great job
on her own. Sometimes we feel we can't do it because there's no man there.
She did it. She
Here
did
I am.
it. Absolutely. Here we are. Yesterday I saw so many people, men and women, at their parents' gravesite, saying, if I could go to the store to get a flower, if I could go to the store to get a card, if I could just say one more time, Mom, I'm sorry, Mom, I love you, I would. If your parent is alive, take a step. We're not saying it's going to happen overnight, but that is the process of honoring your parent. That is the process of being in alignment with what God wants for our life. He doesn't want all of that confusion and disruption in our relationships. So we sit here today, we're blessed. We're not saying that it's going to be easy, because my heart has always been for my mom and my dad. Because even though my dad wasn't in the house with me, he still was a great part of my life. And I honor him. And my mom said it. They divorced.
Yeah.
But my mom said, I don't care if he is a drunk under the bridge.
It's your dad.
He's your dad, and you're going to take him some coffee and some cookies under that bridge,
Yeah.
if that's the case. Thank God he's not. But my dad always said, you're going to always respect your mama, not for what she has done or not, but because of who she is.
Your mom.
That's the bottom line. She's my mama, and that's my dad.
That's your daddy. That's your root. That's your foundation. How can you curse it? You can't curse your foundation. So I would encourage you to build on it, and God will do the rest.
God will do the rest. This is Gospel in the Real. We're so excited today because this is a season to honor parents. The
Yeah.
month of May, the month of June. Don't let the enemy rob you of restoration. Don't let the enemy rob you by carrying baggage that's unneeded and unwanted.
Well, God bless you. We'll see you next time. Have a great week. God bless.